Hey everybody, this is Kim from Sassy Jacks Stitchery. You'll have to excuse me, my voice is a little on the fritz. We had a really fabulous weekend with our soiree folks. Once a quarter, we do an online stitchy soiree, which we have been doing since 2019. The first one we did in person, and then in pandemic we went online. And we try to cap it at about 100 folks, because one year we had well over 400, and it was a lot because we do a custom kit and design for each one of those. And so anyway, we just finished that up for the weekend, and it was super fun. I did a lot of talking. And so my voice is a little bit on the fritz. I apologize. But I wanted to be here with you today. You're going to see a whole series of little videos from us because we're doing something new. We are, of course, for Sassy Jacks Stitchery, we go to the Nashville Needlework Market virtually every year. I think we've missed a couple of years with pandemic, and then when the shop was opening up. We go and we buy a product and we bring it home for you. And this year we're going to do that, but we're taking a helper, and we're going to really heavily enlist Mr. Ponder, my better half, to help too. He always helps, but he's going to really help this year because we're going to go as wholesalers, and we are going to start to offer our Sassafras Sampler charts to other shops. And I've been asked to do it for years, since we first started designing, which was in 2018, and we just never did it. And so, you know, talking to some shop owner friends and some other folks, we finally decided that we would, and we're excited about it. So we have reprinted all of our designs, and we have zhuzhed up, for lack of a better word, our very first one, and I'm going to be talking to you about that one today. And we have an exclusive kit from Sassafras Samplers coming out, which is it's inspired by one of our antiques, but it comes fully kitted. It's fun. I'll show you that in a video. So anyway, just kind of buckle up. I hope you enjoy these little short videos. We're going to show you each sampler in a different video, so you can skip the ones you don't like and watch the ones you do. And then you'll also see me back to talk about, of course, the things that we're going to be purchasing for you as a shop and bringing back. And then there's a couple other things coming. So we've got a new charity line that we're premiering called Herschel's Helpers. And it's a charity that generates funds for pet charities, and it helps you with your finishing. So it's finishing little small things. And if you spend any time doing any of our events that I personally have done, you know that I really want you to get comfortable with finishing your smalls. And so this is a way for us to help you with that and help some little furry fellows that need a little extra help too. So that'll be a separate little video that you can watch. And also we are the distributor for Yvette Stanton's Vetty Creations books. And so I think there are 2 books that are still with another distributor. And outside of that, we have all of her books here already. And we're ready to wholesale those to shops. We're also looking forward to selling them directly to you. So we just have a lot of fun stuff happening. And we just want to say right up front, thank you for loving on our shop and supporting us. You guys have done that since we launched way back in 2014. This is our 11th year. And we're just so excited. So I hope you enjoy the little videos. And without further ado, I'm going to talk about the very first one, which is AC Bluebird Quaker Sampler. It was the first chart that we released. And so when we very first brought it out, we did it as a little chapter club, and you could sign up for it. And it's when our brick and mortar first launched back in 2017. You could sign up for the chapter club, and you got a chapter a month until we ran out of chapters. And I think it was something like 10 or 12. And so a lot of you stitched it that way. And then we took a hard look at our antique, and we kind of recharted it to make sure we got it all the way we wanted it in one single chart. Or maybe we redesigned the booklet, might be a better word for it, but we actually did go back through and rechart it. And we released it as a booklet. It has been our most popular chart always. And we sold out of it a couple of years ago, and we wanted to take it back to print. It was during pandemic. And so we actually left the PDF out there for sale, but we pulled the printed booklet down, and we spent a lot of time. We took it out of its frame again and took it off of the linen that it was on and really examined all the colors on the back of the sampler. And we recolorized it, I guess, with colors from the 103 line, the Soie Alger line, and classic Colorworks Overdyed cottons. So we're really excited to be bringing it out to you that way. So essentially a relaunch, and you'll have a new booklet for it. If you've got the old booklet, that's fantastic. You can still use that. Threads are still available. And if you want to stitch it with all the beautiful little colors that we found in there, and that we translated to 103, then you might be interested in the new booklet. So we're really excited about that. We found a lot more colors on the back than we thought that she had, so we're really excited. And I will show a stitched model of her to you. Now, this model is stitched with the original colorway, but she's very pretty, and I think you're gonna love her. So if you've not seen her before, she is a Quaker medallion sampler. And I'm sorry, we've got some glare in here, but she's a beautiful Quaker medallion sampler. And this one was stitched by my friend Leslie Hale. And you can see it's got, I think I counted 32 motifs, whether they're half or full, on her. And again, I apologize for the glare. It's got glass on it. Leslie did a beautiful job stitching her, and the framing is beautiful. And you see there is a medallion there. It's in a color that's almost matches the linen. That is what the antique looks like. And so that's why we captured it that way. And we call her AC Bluebird because of that beautiful bluebird right there. And then the initials AC are in the middle of this flower design there that looks kind of like little forks. They're not little forks, they're little flowers. And there actually is a very fair AC in there. And the thing that's beautiful about this sampler is you can tell that the orientation of the alphabet changes as you go around the sampler. And that's fun, and that's not something you see on a lot of samplers. You see it on some Spanish samplers, and you see it on a few others, but I just thought this one was really pretty. And I want to tell you the story about her. So I purchased her in the UK, and when I purchased her, she doesn't have a full name on her, so we didn't know who really stitched her, and we don't have a date, so we can't really narrow it down. But while I was in the UK, I had some great opportunities. I went to the Ackworth School, and I've been there before, but I've been a few times. But this particular time, I was really excited about this sampler, and I showed her to the curator at that time, which this was back in 2016 or 2017, I think 2016. And I thought that because of the spatial beauty on here, everything is spaced really nicely, and that's not something that you would typically see on a little girl's sampler. I thought maybe she was a teaching example, and I also thought that that might be true because of all the half medallions, because you've got half medallions all the way around the outside, and then you've got, you know, 2 full columns of it on the inside. And that made me think, and then a few more are spread through there. That made me think that this would be a perfect teaching example, and maybe that it was, because the instructor would have essentially the whole motif by only stitching half, because these motifs are mirrored. Most of them, not all of them. You see there's a few there that are not, and they're shown in whole, but a lot of them are just mirrors, and so you can just flip them over, and then you've got the whole motif. And sorry, my nose is itching here a little bit. Live TV. And the curator at Ackworth did agree with me that we thought maybe this was an Ackworth. It's certainly a Quaker school sampler, and very possibly an Ackworth. It's just hard to say, but she was excited to see it. And we also had a chance at the Fitzwilliam Museum. Carol Humphreys was there, and she gave us a tour of, at the time, some really beautiful Quaker samplers that were on exhibit there. And I had a chance to talk with Carol, and I showed her some really high quality photos, and she agreed that it's very, very possible that this might be an Ackworth School sampler. And it was very similar to some other samplers that were on exhibition in the Fitzwilliam. And when you look at the booklet for this, you will see one that's really beautiful and very similar. And this one, when its time comes, will actually be donated to Ackworth School, the antique. Leslie will get her model back. But the antique we will give to Ackworth School for their collection, because we all, in all honesty, kind of think that it is an Ackworth sampler. But having said that, there is no full name and no date, and we can't, you know, say that for sure. But whether she is or whether she isn't, she is a beauty. And I've seen her stitch a few times, and she is just absolutely gorgeous. So I hope you will support your chosen needlework shop, and ask them to purchase this for you at the Nashville Needlework Market and broaden her exposure to the rest of the world. We just love her so much. She's so pretty and so fun to stitch. And I want to show you some of the really beautiful threads that we have pulled for her now. So, and she's got numbers in there too. So she got her alphabet and then numbers. And I'll show you the front of the chart. This is the antique on the front. So that's what the antique looks like. Really, really pretty. You see, we wrote 103 up here because we went through each medallion and picked its color. And we did the same thing with Soie d'Alger. And in the center of our charts, you always get a full, you know, 2-page fold out on almost all of them. There was one that we just redid that we put a picture of the antique on one side and a model on the other. So pretty. And what else can I tell you about that? I want to show you the silks. I'm overwhelmed. So it has 21 103 silks. So these are all the beautiful, beautiful silks, if you're going to stitch her in 103, that you would need. And we have a number of these kits available, and we can get more. So if you decide you want to stitch AC Bluebird, kit her with us or kit her with your local needlework shop, she's gorgeous. So 21 103s, and just a very beautiful, colorful, sweet palette. We also did her in Soie d'Alger. So depending on the count of the linen you want to stitch her on, excuse me, I had to cough, sorry about that voice. You can stitch her with Soie d'Alger silks. And we also chose a palette of classic Colorworks Overdyed cottons for her. So she's just really beautiful. And of course, you know, there's an option for DMC and needlepoint ink. So, you know, so you've got a lot of different ways that you can stitch her. But the new chart will have classic Colorworks. It will have 103 and Soie d'Alger, and then of course a DMC conversion for you. So the palette of classic Colorworks is less different colors than the palette of silks, because the silks are solid colors, and the classic Colorworks Overdyed cotton have some color change, and so you can pick up more than one motif with these. So we put a lot of thought into it. I hope you'll love it. I would encourage you to stitch her on something that is a more neutral palette so that you can see all the colors. But you could also stitch her on like something a little bit gray. Excuse me, I'm clearly going to have to get some water. A little bit gray, that would make all the colors pop. But Fox and Rabbit, I think of her on paper bark. We've seen her stitched on paper bark. She's really beautiful from Fox and Rabbit. You could stitch her on parchment from Weeks Dye Works on a Zweigart base. We kit her a lot on that. You could jump over to Legacy Linen. She would be stunning on Russian tea cake, 37 count, or you can go up and count with them and stitch it in some of the 45 counts. So we're excited to bring her back to you with a little bit of a hairdo, just like our shop. So we moved into this year, or last year, we opened up in our new shop space, which we spent 10 years doing the rehab on, off and on. And so we took a 150-year-old house and gave her, brought her into the new modern era a little bit, kept as much historicity as we could, which we do with our sampler by, color matching our silks to the back of her. But, it's just that time. And so we're super excited. AC Bluebird, again, is the name of this beauty. And she will be available from your shop or from us at Sassy Jacks Stitchery. 103s, Soie Algaes, and the beautiful overdyed cotton floss from Classic Colorworks. So I just couldn't be happier. I'm really super excited about her, and I hope you love her. She's right back there behind me, and I'm going to end this video and bring you another one to talk about another one. So see you back soon.